The first video I made when I started this channel was on grounding. Some also call it earthing. And for reasons still mysterious to me, this video has been the most popular one by far. So I decided to make a sequel and explore this subject in more detail. For an introduction on grounding, I would just refer you back to that first video, and you'll find the link in the description below. So today, we're going deeper into grounding. We'll consider more of the science and then how we can make it part of our lives. Many of us already know that grounding can help us feel calmer and more present. But the interesting part is physiological. Blood properties, nervous system balance, sleep architecture, even recovery after exercise. Small but growing studies such as measurable changes. Let's unpack the strongest ones, and I will provide the links to the studies in the description section. So the Earth is an electrical reference at approximately 0 volts. When our skin touches a conductive surface connected to the Earth, like grass, moist soil, beach sand, unsealed damp concrete, the charges equalize. That can lower the electric charge on our skin, which is a good thing, and gently shift our nervous system from fight or flight towards rest and repair. One controlled trial in a neonatal intensive care unit showed a 95% drop in skin voltage and a 67% rise in vagal tone in preterm infants when grounded. And in case you're wondering, vagal tone is basically a measure of how well our vagus nerve is doing its job of keeping us calm, balanced, and adaptable. Now, let's hit the most cited testable effects. First, let's consider the effects on the blood. In a lab study, just 2 hours of grounding increased the red blood cell surface charge, reducing clumping and viscosity, both linked to circulatory risk. It's not the final word, but it's a plausible mechanism for why some of us feel lighter after grounding. Secondly, grounding can also have a positive effect on sleep and circadian hormones. A classic pilot studying people sleeping grounded to the earth found that their nighttime cortisol levels dropped and people reported better sleep and less pain. It was small, yes, but still significant. More recently, a study of people with mild Alzheimer's disease reported improved sleep quality with grounding. And a 2025 double-blind placebo-controlled trial of earthing mats reported improvements in insomnia severity and confirmed the drop in cortisol levels during sleep. And for some reason, the benefits were more apparent for women. Other studies show grounding can boost heart rate variability, nudging us toward the rest and repair state. This matches what doctors saw in the infants and quick drops in skin stress signals. Basically, we calm down faster. I guess it's a bit like having the warm, comforting touch of someone we love, except that it wouldn't lower our voltage like the earth does. Regarding the studies on inflammation, I will simply quote the conclusions of a 2015 study published in PubMed. Accumulating experiences and research on earthing or grounding point to the emergence of a simple, natural, and accessible health strategy against chronic inflammation, warranting the serious attention of clinicians and researchers. The living matrix, the very fabric of the body, appears to serve as one of our primary antioxidant defense systems. As this report explains, it is a system requiring occasional recharging by conducive contact with the Earth's surface, the battery for all planetary life, to be optimally effective. Those are the exact words of the study. So, there you go. I thought it was important to cover some of the science, given that there are still many skeptics out there. Now that we got this out of the way, let's consider some of the practical aspects of grounding. First, to achieve best results, think conductivity plus consistency. For the best surfaces, consider moist grass, soil, beach sand, natural stone, and unsealed concrete in contact with the earth. Painted or sealed concrete, wood, asphalt, vinyl are generally not conductive. Moisture improves conduction. Think morning dew, grass after the rain, or the wet sand at the beach. And it's even better if you just swim in the ocean. Your whole body will be fully grounded, enhanced by the conductivity of salt water. Maybe that's why swimming is always a winner when it comes to health habits. Now, how long do we have to ground? Significant effects on blood flow have been observed within 60 minutes in control lab sessions. For sleep benefits, it depends on people. Sometimes it shows up after days, sometimes after weeks when grounding consistently, example during sleep. So a realistic starter would be like 20 to 30 minutes daily and or having a grounded sleep setup using earthing mats. This reminds me that I'm currently probably short and should be out there feet in the grass a bit longer. So if you're in the city, look for garden spaces, beaches, and parks. For indoors, properly designed earthing mats that connect to the outlet's ground port can approximate the effect. Now, if you can pair the power of the earth with the other elements, this is when things get even more interesting. My morning routine includes getting some sunlight in my eyes and on my skin to anchor my circadian rhythm while I have my bare feet in the grass. I like to do some deep breathing at the same time. So we have the energies of the earth, fire from the sun, and the air all working together. It helps me be less anxious during the day. I guess an evening wind down routine would be nice too, with maybe like 10 to 20 minutes barefoot in the garden or at the beach. We'd be telling our biology it's safe to power down. I have to admit I'm not there yet, but summer's coming up and I think I'm putting evening earthing on my to-do list. And while I'm at it, I might as well do some moonlight bathing as well, although I'm not sure there's a scientific study on that one yet. So there you go, grounding isn't a magic bullet. It won't replace nutrition, movement, sunlight, relationships, or emotional work. Some say there's no evidence at all for its benefits, and today we know that's just plain ignorance. There definitely is an abundance of emerging evidence out there. Grounding alone will unlikely change your life, but I've had so many days when I was feeling a bit woozy, sometimes with low energy, and after 10 to 15 minutes outside with my feet in the grass, I always feel better. And for someone who has tried so many things, many of which really didn't work, although I really wanted them to, I can safely say it wasn't placebo. It does work. If you enjoyed this grounding sequel, please subscribe. Together we can go through all those beautiful things in life that are so important to our health and which are actually free.